Hey, what is up everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at Dogecoin, which is currently up 2%. The entire market has just been consolidating today. There hasn't really been any major movements apart from API3, which has been experiencing a lot of growth recently. Now, before we jump into exactly where I think Dogecoin could be going over the next few days, I want to ask you guys to check out the Discord down below. We've been absolutely crushing inside of there. You can see on the screen right now just how many trades our members have been winning, and you could be one of those members. You can join up and start copying and pasting the trades into your own exchange and start profiting like you're seeing on the screen right now. It's absolutely insane. Over the past few weeks, we've had over an 80% win rate, meaning 8 out of the 10 trades that you enter will be wins. So yeah, make sure you join up. We have been crushing it there. Will be the first link in the description. Now back to Dogecoin. So obviously Dogecoin has experienced a rather big fall. It went from 48 cents down to 17 cents, over 50%, but the entire market saw that exact same dip, and it's nothing we haven't seen before. You know, Dogecoin has fallen from 22 cents down to 8 cents and then rallied up to 48 cents. It's very normal for Doge to, you know, move in these big sort of centiles, and it's even more normal for it to reverse back up. So everything's been quite normal for Dogecoin right now. And if we quickly recap our DCA strategy, our initial entries were here at 15 cents with this fib level being at 0.786, and we're currently up I think like 15%, yeah, 14%. So we're up 14% right now from those initial entries, but we're not looking to sell anywhere near yet. We're looking to at least get to the previous highs, which would give us 3.2x. so that's what we're sort of looking for. You know, no real stop losses yet. Again, this is a spot position, so instead we're going to DCA down low. If it does continue lower to maybe 13 cents, maybe 10 cents as well, overall, I mean, we're just going to be looking to hold. Now, the only way we're really going to get back up to 48 cents is when the market does eventually shift. And I don't mean just shift, you know, start trending back up and, you know, going an uptrend. That's quite common sense, but I mean in the political sense where it shifts. So right now, obviously, if we take a look at Bitcoin, just because it's slightly easier to look at, we have obviously seen the exact same fall, and this entire fall is simply to do with politics rather than crypto itself. You know, the S&P saw the exact same dip, and essentially this fall is the market reacting to how Trump operates as the president, because it's very different to Biden. You know, it's a complete different contrast. So Biden, you know, was always quite slow in the sense that, you know, any sort of change would take a long time, and you'd get an announcement of the change, but you know it's coming in maybe 6 months to a year, and you'd get slow updates on whatever change was being made. Whereas with Trump, it's a lot different. You know, we instantly get the change, or we'll get a huge announcement about a change that's happening, like the crypto reserve announcement, or, you know, tariffs. We knew tariffs were going to come, but, you know, we didn't expect it to be that harsh that instantly. And again, you know, I think Trump has fought out quite well. Maybe not the crypto reserve news, but the tariffs and the negotiations for the ceasefire in, you know, Europe, I think he's fought out quite well. And what I mean by that is essentially the longer this sort of conflict lasts, the worse it is for the market in the short term. So I think he tweeted or maybe said in a meeting or press conference or something that we're essentially, you know, expecting to experience some short-term pain in the market, and we have been doing so. The S&P is down 10%. That's $5 trillion plus wiped out. But he said obviously eventually will be resolved, and what we're waiting for, and what Trump is really waiting for, is rate cuts. Now, he doesn't have a very good relationship with Jerome Powell, who's the chairman of the Fed, the Federal Reserve, and the FOMC meetings. So they don't get along very well. And, you know, we had an FOMC meeting this Wednesday that has just gone, and a lot of people were hoping for rate cuts, or, you know, worst case scenario, rate hikes if the market is really, you know, performing well in the Fed's case. But instead we just got a halt. You know, nothing happened. It was neutral. So what that essentially did was pump up the market tiny bit. Nothing major, you know, practically a normal day. But until we get rate cuts, I don't think Trump will necessarily ease on the tariffs and ease on the other things as well, which won't be great for the market short term. And the reason Trump wants these rate cuts is in order to borrow more money at a cheaper rate in the US, or for the US, which would obviously give it more power, more capital, and so on and so forth. But not only that, it has a snowball effect as well, because when rates get lowered, it means people get those lower interest rates as well, and it means borrowing money becomes a lot cheaper. Now, what happens when money is borrowed is, for example, we have, you know, the person A that borrows the money. They might not necessarily invest the money, but what they'll do is, say they go and purchase a car with that money. Then that money flows into the dealership, and maybe the CEO gets it. Then the CEO will maybe, you know, buy something else. That person gets that money, and then maybe that person will then invest in a crypto or Bitcoin or Dogecoin, and then that's when we start seeing that growth. So it's going to be a snowball effect. As soon as those rate cuts happen, and we get that rate cut down, you'll see the market pump up. But this entire process will take a longer time. It won't happen overnight. This pump from the rate cut will happen, very, very quickly. But then after that, it does snowball, and that is when we usually see a lot of increase in the market happen. For example, I think 2021 was a lot of rate cuts as well, simply due to the pandemic. And you can see how well we performed in 2021 when there was an abundance of rate cuts, work from home, everything like that. It was huge. And obviously we all had Elon Musk and Dogecoin performing really, really well there. Now the sentiment has slightly shifted, obviously with Elon Musk not being as much loved as he was in 2021, which I think is, baloney. I think it's absolutely useless what the media is trying to pin on him and whatnot. But regardless of anyone's opinion, Dogecoin is still the biggest meme coin. It's practically not even a meme coin anymore. It's actually more of an altcoin. It has its own department in the government as the Department of Government Efficiency. And yes, I know I get a lot of comments every single day that it's not its own department. The Dogecoin isn't actually in the US, whatever, in the government at least. They're not using Dogecoin and they're not buying Dogecoin, whatever. But the point is, it has its own name inside of the government of the US. And if you would have said something like that in 2021, you would have been called out. You'd have been said that you're smoking something or whatnot. So it's still a huge achievement. And not only that, but from our trade point alone, purely going off technical analysis, the previous high is very easily attainable. It's not like we're going to the all-time high of 74 cents. We're just targeting the previous high, which was already hit in December 5th. This was obviously during the hype of Trump coming into office and Trump winning the election and everything like that. Yeah, the dynamics sort of shifted. A lot more people now dislike Elon, dislike Trump, but again, narratives change. People will forget whatever happened last week in a few weeks, and I think the Elon hate will probably disappear relatively quickly as soon as somebody finds someone else to hate on. It was Kanye, then Elon, and yeah, I think it will fade very quickly. So if you're not buying Dogecoin for that reason, I think that's a bit stupid. But from a purely technical standpoint, I think 15 cents is a great first entry, and targeting 3x is very attainable. Second entries that we have is 12.6 cents, and then third entry is like 9 cents. Three key entries. If it does go lower, we have a capital reserve. We're gonna go lower as well. Regardless, that's what we're waiting for. And other coins I'm going to be keeping an eye on this week will include BetchAI, XRP performing really well, API as well. API 3 been performing well. It's done like a 3x nearly over the past few days. XRP we already said. Sui also starting to trend down. Render, Polkadot also. AVAX really slow moving. No trades found yet. Solana at 130. Hopefully it can break above. Again, we're going to be watching it. Ethereum as well, slowly trending back up, still below 2k, which is insane. And obviously Bitcoin as well. Now, if you did enjoy today's video, please do make sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to be getting my trades every single day, then check out the Discord down below. If you need a place to buy, sell, or trade cryptocurrency for the lowest fees, the best sign-up bonuses, then check out all the exchanges we're working with down below. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye, guys.